Greetings, dear ones. I join you this day with a full open heart, for I am Merlia. I have come to help balance your energies, to help you return to a normal state of balance with masculine and feminine. And we tell you the earth is screaming for feminine energy at this moment. The balance has been out of balance for far too long. And now you have many circumstances, opportunities, and chances for you to change everything. We tell you, dear ones, you have been in a recessional wave very clearly. And many of you have quite concerned about this recessional wave. You see things going the opposite way that you thought was advancement, and you're very concerned about it. And this happens globally, not just in one place. And we tell you, dear ones, this is happening out of fear. It's very simple. When humans get afraid, they step backwards in their own evolution. And that's what you're seeing happen on a global basis. But you see, dear ones, we're not worried at all, because we have placed some of the most powerful people in the most powerful positions at exact junctions of time and space where they can change this wave, where they can shift every part of it around and turn this into evolution. Now, first of all, do not think that there is a right or wrong about a wave. A wave is simply how things travel back and forth, moving from one side to the other to make eventual progress in one direction. And we tell you, you are making huge progress, much more than you understand. And we've now helped you to balance this with an understanding of the feminine power, the base creative power on your planet. All of you have it, whether you're carrying a masculine body or a feminine one. All of you have that aspect of yourself. And that is the piece that is now coming to be strength. The challenge for many of you is that you've always known of your powers, your abilities in these areas, but have not always known how to use them, how to engage them, or to learn to trust them in the ways that you wish. So what we tell you now is that you have that opportunity, because this will be happening globally. And all of you will feel that. You'll feel an energy that will allow you to step up and out of your daily doldrums, out of your dramas, out of all the challenges that take up your time and your energy almost every day. Well, you have challenges and then you have advancements. So look for those. Look for those opportunities for you to step forward. And especially during the next month, we're going to be sending some energy. All of us from this side of the veil. And we're going to be sending some beautiful energy, not to help you move one way or the other, because we never interfere with your ongoing planet of free choice. But what we're doing, dear ones, is sending you the highest energy so that you can awaken from the dream while you're still in the physical body. Then you will start to understand your position and the dreams and the hopes that you brought in from the other side of the veil, so that you could be here now to ground and land that beautiful energy. Light workers are everywhere, in all stages of life, in all belief systems, in all geographical locations. And in truth, dear ones, you hold the energy of planet Earth as it is shifting. Now, you've always held the energy from planet Earth. Well, in truth, the cetaceans, the whales, the dolphins, that whole group of beings held the base energy for planet Earth for a very long time. But some years ago, it was passed over to humanity. And now you're wrestling with it because the tension of planet Earth is becoming very unbearable at times. Well, this is what you're being called upon. You did not sign up to go to planet Earth, dear ones, just to have a good time, now did you? In reality, you brought something from home that every person can start using, start anchoring in their own way, and start using with their own flavor. Are you aware that you have a unique flavor of light? You could call it a color, because that's sort of what it is, but your colors are very limited in their range, and you are not. So you have these beautiful little flavors of light that you can put on everything. Well, you don't think about that, but when you see darkness, you shine light upon it. When you see ignorance, you shine wisdom upon it. And that is all light. Now, the interesting part is you're seeing that you're shining your light as best as possible, but it has a flavor, almost as if it has a color, almost as if your light will filter out certain things and let you see things that maybe other people can't quite see. That's actually how it works, even in physics. In truth, when you open your eyes, dear ones, and you look at something, everything jumps into place just as soon as you open your eyes. Now, almost everywhere there is chaos. But when you look at it, when you gaze your flavor of light upon it, it takes another form. So you've got one person over here who's looking at something saying, oh, this is a real problem. And then you've got another person over here who looks at the same thing with a different flavor and comes up with an entirely different solution, a different resolution to the same problem. These are the new times, dear ones. These are the times of the balanced energy of planet Earth. Now, you are not balanced at this moment. You are very far out of balance, which is what is calling me here to help. Now, it's not my job to balance Earth, but it is my job to help all of you remember. You're the ones that took off your wings. You're the ones that decided to jump into the veil, to put on the veil and keep it from helping you remember who you were or where you've been, in an effort to evolve everything that has gone before you. We applaud you, dear ones, in ways that you have no idea. And we applaud the next steps that you're about to take because they are great indeed. And we tell you this is going to be a massive year of change. Welcome aboard. As we've mentioned before, there are 4 major energy shifts taking place in 2017. The first is right upon you. And through March, you will see in the first part of March, from the 4th through the 17th, you'll see quite a movement of energy going through. But it won't seem like a wave. Waves tend to come in like this and change everything in the beginning and then kind of smooth out after that. Well, these waves are a bit different than that. These waves are going to come in very slowly, especially at the beginning on the first wave. And as it does, that energy is going to be adapted and anchored by the animal kingdom on your planet. So we ask you, dear ones, during this next month, pay a special attention to any animals that you have or any animals that you relate to, even if they are not yours, so to speak. We find it fascinating that you think you can own animals. But in truth, they are holding that base energy of change, so that humanity can absorb it in a different way. You work together with the animal kingdom, for you are part of that. You are classified as an animal yourself with spirit. Now, that connection is going to take you a long way. So pay very close attention to the animals around you during this next month, and watch to be there in the opportunities to help them make the adjustments that they need to stay on their track, because they are definitely holding part of the energy and part of the puzzle. Now, the next times that you're going to see some fairly major changes taking place. And we ask you, do not always pay attention to all the dramas you see playing out on your news stations and on your televisions. Know that you're right on target. Know that you have been placed where you are right now. And you will be grounding that light in a very critical place. Now, some of you have been trying to move for eons of time and seem to be blocked at points. You want to go over here. You know your dreams are in this location, yet you can't seem to get out of where you are to move there. Well, we tell you, dear ones, that's because you're not finished. So look for those opportunities to complete something. Look for those opportunities, possibly even in people that you cannot communicate with. Maybe a single communication will start to release you on your new path, because you're going to find a lot of changes taking place as these 4 waves of energy come in, as they start to anchor. The following waves will come in on May 10th And then you will have another wave coming in beginning on July 28th, toward the end of July, that will actually take you all the way through August, ending on August 30th. And you'll have quite a lot to deal with even after that. Now, the fourth wave has not landed yet. And at the moment, we can tell you it's probably going to land somewhere between mid-October and mid-November of this year. But right now, it's still in flux because it is dependent on many of the other waves that are coming in and how they are anchored by humanity. Typically, when waves come in of this nature, people retreat. They hide from the waves. They hide from the energy they see as an encroachment on their space and their safety. And they protect themselves. Help them to understand. Stand in the wave openly. Take it in. Show people how empowering this can be by your own actions. And watch. You can buy into all the negativity that's around you every moment because there's enough that every person on earth can buy into this. And we ask you not to. We ask you to dare to just hold your light and dare to be the person that you came with all that energy in the very first place. You came in, you felt the energy, but you didn't quite know what to do with it. And as you aged, as you began to mature, you started to awaken from the dream. So here you are, standing as the earth is in flux. Everything is beginning to be in motion, and you are an anchor point for light. And we applaud you, dear ones. It is not something you have done easily. It is not a decision that you have made easily. Some of you have actually wrestled with that for several lifetimes before you've made that decision. But you are. And you are the greatest angels that have ever lived anywhere. Dared to take off your wings and pretend to be a human. To put on a bubble of biology and play the game in the way that you're doing it. If we can do nothing more than to give you a reflection of your greatness and your incredible effect on this planet, then we have done our job. It is with the greatest of honor that I greet you in these ways. And in truth, I will be working with many, coming up soon, to take you through a process of going through these waves and preparing for the last one. This year of change can be easy. It doesn't have to be difficult. It is with the greatest of honor that I get to greet you in these ways after waiting for such a long time. Know that we love you dearly, all of us from home. You have carried the light from home. You're searching for places on earth to play it out, to reflect it, and to dare to be the light. It's with the greatest of honor. I ask you to treat each other with respect, nurture one another, and play well together. I am Merlia. Come up and see me sometime. Das Baba. Greetings, dear ones. We join you this day with your game well in progress. I am M, and I join you today in a balanced energy. An energy that you all are moving toward very rapidly. Dear ones, we know that you have challenges on your earth, but we're not going to talk about those today. We're going to focus on the good. For the very simple reason that you have the opportunity to focus where you wish to. Merlia spoke of this a little bit earlier today when she said when you stare at something, you actually change it. For you are creator beings, each and every one of you. You've brought the images and the memories from home. Whatever you call it, whether you call it heaven, wherever it is, you call it nirvana, it makes no difference. You have a deep remembering. And that is the focus that you're all looking for. You're trying to actually replicate what you know from home in your own visions of what you see here on earth. Now, what you don't know is when you look for it, you absolutely help to create it. So by all means, look for the good. Watch for everything that you can to change your perspective intentionally. Now, does that mean that everything must be fluffy good and there is no negativity? No, dear ones, that does not work that way. You know perfectly well that you're living in a field where you still see a lot of duality. You still see a lot of things as light and dark. You somewhat need a little more of that contrast as you're evolving, but not for long. You're moving at the speed of love, which is substantially faster than the speed of light. Now, as you evolve and as you move into these pieces, we ask you to all take a step back. Oh, we know that you're all so anxious to move forward. You get your movements going, and it's very difficult for you to even slow down, but we're asking you to take a step back for a moment. Right now, step out of your being and stand behind you. Let your spirit stand behind your body right now and look at it. Look at it, having those thoughts, receiving this information, having these emotions that you felt this day. And just observe. No judgment. That is not allowed from this perspective. Just look. And look at yourself having these thoughts. And be aware for just a moment of how beautiful you are. Oh, we know that's difficult for many of you to accept. You have ideas of what beauty is. You have categorized it in certain areas, and we tell you you're not even close. Beauty is in the heart. Beauty is what makes things move around. And we often interchange those words, love and beauty, because the beauty is the beauty you brought from home. And you're trying to not only reflect it, not only in your own visions, but especially when you focus on something. So the triality focus is what we wish to introduce this day. And that's to simply note when any time you see something, you see it in duality, you see it in twos, you see it in light and dark, but there's a whole aspect that you can't see, not with your eyes. You can only see it with your heart. And that is what we ask you all to start working with. In these times of massive change, which you are now in the midst of, you've stepped right into it, and there's no easy way out. You're going to walk right through it. But dear ones, as you create this path through all the difficulties, you not only open it for yourself, but you open it for all those that follow behind you. And that is what many of you had in mind when you came to Earth. So bless yourselves, dear ones. You are carrying more of the answers for all of humanity than you understand. And all we ask you to do is to be still long enough for you to hear your heartbeat. Long enough for you to hear that message coming from deep within you. And something magical happens when you hear that, and it comes up and it finally makes its way into your expression. Speak it. Speak it out loud so that these vibrations come out of your mouth and into the world and right into your own ears. Because that's the completion of a huge energy cycle that all of you have been working with. Now, dear ones, we've mentioned that Merlia is here. She has brought in a lot of the feminine energy to balance a new world. Not that one is right or one is wrong, but certainly you can see that the world in planet Earth has been out of balance for some time. Well, now we tell you, each of you have a choice of how you perceive that balance and how you take your own power. Whether you're carrying a masculine body or a feminine one doesn't make any difference. You both carry masculine and feminine energies, as do I. Yes, dear ones, that is my expertise amongst what the Keeper calls the group. My expertise is a balance of masculine and feminine. That is who I represent on Earth. Take a look. You're starting to see much more of this happening as you're starting to blend together that which was separated so that you could create this game of pretending to be a human. Now, it is all in motion. And you can decide where you wish to go. You have more options than you ever know. Yes, dear ones, you live on the planet of free choice, but does that mean you have free choice in every moment? No, you've wrapped yourself into dramas, into commitments, into games that you're playing on the planet. Sometimes you wrap yourself into that where you take away your own free choice. But dear ones, you always have free choice, not only of thought, but of focus. And the triality of focus takes it outside of the duality. Now you are starting to work with the triad instead of just the duality. Almost as if you stepped from the third dimension cleanly into the fifth, and now starting to learn how that works and what you have to do to have a life here. Well, lean on each other, dear ones, and focus on the good. It will bring you home. It will take your distractions away from all the crazy things that seem to go on right now that you can't always make sense of. Don't try. You're there. You're in a very critical position on planet Earth. You're able to hold the light in one of the most beautiful ways possible for all. So breathe it in right now. Take a breath in and bring all that light in through the top of your head and just let it circulate through your body. Here we go. And let it out. Beautiful. Can you feel that? You feel that excitement, the potentials that arise the moment you do that? You are magical beings, dear ones. You are God incarnate. And our job is only to help you remember. You're on a path of your own choosing. Your contracts and everything that you've set up lead you right down where you wanted to experience. No one is here without purpose, ever. There is basically no space on planet Earth right now for anyone to be here who does not have an active role. So the test is very simple, dear ones. You take your little mirror and you hold it up to your nose, and if it fogs up when you breathe, you're not done. There's more to do. And we guarantee you, you will be welcomed with those opportunities very soon. Walk hand in hand, dear ones, whenever you can. And please understand that when humanity goes into fear, they go into separation. That is what is happening now. There's a huge wave of separation on your planet. You hold the key to that. You hold the love that can bring everything back together if you will just focus on it. It's with the greatest of honor that I greet you in this way. Ask you to treat each other with respect, nurture one another at every opportunity, play well together. I am M. Aspire.